This episode, holiday gifts for your handyman. Well, folks, once again, the holiday season is upon us. This year, we decided to do something a little different. We decided to focus on accessories and consumables that make great gifts. If you're looking for a great gift for your handy person, stay tuned. Welcome to the Handyman Pros Radio Show, home improvement and maintenance tips from the pros. Thanks for listening to another edition of the Handyman Pros Radio Show, where our goal is to help save you time, money, and aggravation on your home maintenance and repair. This edition is entitled Holiday Gifts for Your Handyman. And to help me explain, I'm here with old St. Johnny, St. Nicholas Johnny, whatever, Santa Johnny, as they like to say. Santa Johnny, what has Santa Johnny been doing?
I just did another rebuilt another toilet, believe it or not. So
nothing says
nothing says Merry Christmas like your head in the toilet.
Like your head in the toilet. And the fact that your toilet runs clean is a good idea. Wow. All right. Well, folks, we surely digress on occasion. Yeah. All right, folks, before we do that, we would like to ask you to like and subscribe to our various different contents, either on YouTube or to our podcasts. Our goal is to get more of this information out to you, our listeners, or people that are looking for this kind of information. It really helps the algorithms decide who gets the listens if you hit like and subscribe. So if you would do that for us, we would appreciate it. Hit like and subscribe. All right. With that, Johnny, we wanted to talk about holiday gifts for handymen or handy people one. And I always bring up the first one, Johnny.
Money.
Cash, baby. Yep. Nothing says handyman like cash.
Yeah. Nothing says cash. That's a fact.
Yeah, kind of can't go wrong with cash. It allows somebody to get what they actually want. We wanted to throw in there too, or I thought anyway, gift cards from big box stores, so various, just whatever you've got in your area, Lowe's, Home Depot, Menards, whatever. I know there's a bunch around the country that are different from what we see all the time, but never a gift that is unappreciated, in my opinion.
Yeah. So we had a show on making your own gifts, right?
We did. Yes.
And then we've got a show about your kid's bench build.
The bench build for the young child, yes.
So just to recap that real quick, that was only a 2.5 hour build. So
about that,
there's these last minute things, and we thought now, hey, there's consumables, there's tools, there's all kinds of little things that you can always, do and buy for, what Larry was saying is your handy person in your life. So
yeah, and these are items that we're trying to keep the cost sort of down on them as far as not spending too much money, but at the same time, a gift that somebody's never going to say, "Oh, why'd you get me that?" Because nobody's going to say that, right?
Yeah, well, get them a fruitcake.
Oh, yeah, no fruitcakes. Right? That was a big deal at one time. People actually ate those things, John. Anyway,
well, they had what, about 20-year shelf life, so you're
it's the gift that
keeps on giving. You can just take what Aunt Edna gave you last 2 years ago and give that back to her.
Give it back to her
this year. Got you something really unique this year.
Really,
hope you enjoy
really
it.
Good. Yeah, hope you enjoy it. So anyway, cash and gift cards was number one, as we like to say, but it's you can never go wrong with those things. I wanted to add in there. So folks, we deal a lot in cordless tools, right, John? And would you ever turn down if somebody gave you a battery?
No. And that's a good one.
Yeah. And believe it or not, folks, they are a little bit consumable. They do go bad, right?
Yeah, they do.
So it's always good. Personally, this is me personally, I like the 4 amp hour batteries myself because they are long enough, they last long enough, and yet they're
pretty versatile.
Pretty versatile. Anyway,
so that's a good one. Just understand what kind of tool that they're using, because not all batteries are the same.
No, they're not the same. They all have different hookups. But yeah, if you know the guys, whoever the person's brand that they're using, if they're using a DeWalt or they're using a Ryobi or they're using whatever, Milwaukee, some of those batteries are interchangeable, some aren't. But just understand what brand they have, and nobody's going to say, "Oh, you got me a battery." Why?
No, I think
okay.
that's a good one. So rolling into this, Larry, I've got a couple things here that I carry in my tool bag. I can talk about in a minute. That has really pulled, my bacon out of the fire. That are very inexpensive,
Yep.
and so I get into that in a minute. And these are little things that don't cost very much at all, and there's, I would say, stocking stuffers.
Yeah, stockings. It's
Yeah,
all good.
yeah,
It's just kind of all good. So, Johnny, did we want to talk about? So we got thinking about it, and we always say our number one tool that you absolutely cannot be without is a cordless drill, right?
yeah.
So, what sort of things come for cordless drills? What sort of accessories can you get for cordless drills?
A whole bunch.
A whole bunch. Yeah.
Anything that goes round and round. Right.
It's kind of funny that you say it that way. But here's what I notice at this time of year. So folks, if you don't know this, like screwdriver bits and stuff are actually consumables. You'll grind the ends off them, they stop working well. So like Phillips head screwdrivers bits and stuff. Yeah. So, and drill bits are another one, right? So we've got two pictures up here on the screen. These are pictures of an accessory pack, and I just happened to pick them off random. But it seems like this time of year during the holiday seasons, at least the big box stores always have really good deals on like these larger packs of accessory kits, where you get 70 pieces for a discounted deal or whatever it is. And I always tend to, if somebody doesn't give it to me, I always tend to go buy and replenish all my supplies this time of year, because you get a pretty substantial discount on it. I mean, and plus they give you, or it seems like they give you a really good variety of things at a very reasonable price. Some of the stuff you go, I'll never use this, but then again, it really doesn't matter. But if you're walking down the aisles, they're usually stuck kind of, at least in my stores, they're stuck like right in the middle of the aisles. It's like, could you make it any tighter in here so I can walk
I can't get the cart by there.
Can't get the cart by, right? But you know what I'm talking about. And in those things, there's some cool gifts that are in some of those things.
Yeah.
And
there is.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, no, I was going to say, I think the point here is that if you're actively using these things a lot, like you were saying, that you're going to grind down, the screwdriver tips and things like that. I mean, I don't
drill
think
bits get dull, and you can sharpen them, but they don't ever get as sharp as
no. And you can, nobody's going to turn this kind of stuff down. I mean, they're either going to, you're losing stuff throughout the year. All kinds of things happen. But it's really nice to have, a whole brand new set of these things to start the year off. I mean,
yeah. Yep.
I mean, nothing bad about that.
Nothing bad about it. There's nothing bad about that. And again, so one of the other things is, John, throw up the picture of the wire brush. So there's other things that you can get for your cordless drill that'll do different jobs, right? This happens to be a wire brush set. There are also nylon brushes for like cleaning and things that you can get as well, where if you're just wanting to clean off things with a little more speed, say tile or grout or whatever, but I wouldn't use these nylon brushes. But if you're cleaning metal, having these wire brushes on the end of your cordless drill can be super handy. Have you ever used them, Johnny?
All the time. And I used to use the nylon brushes all the time. I love those things, actually, and they come in different grits, and they work tremendous. Guys always wear safety glasses when you use this stuff, because you never want any of that stuff to fly off of there. But they are just invaluable. I'm telling you right now, before you do any painting and stuff like that, this will knock a lot of time off your projects.
Tons of time, and they're all of these things are really quite inexpensive. I mean, we're probably less than 20. The assortment kits depends on the number and all that kind of thing, and drill bits the same way. But like these wire brush kits, like that's what set you see right there. I think that's about $15. It's not hugely expensive.
No.
Boy, it'll save you $15 worth of time. That's a guarantee.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And give you a better quality product and so forth and so on. So, think about those kinds of things. Those are other things. John, there's one other one, and we talked about this on one of our previous shows. This thing was something, this is kind of our find for 2023, basically, right, John? What is this?
This is what's known as the drain shroom, and you attach it to your drill, and it's a little
power snake.
Yeah, a little power snake that you can use, and it is great. It comes with a little pouch,
Yes.
It's small. It's inexpensive. I think it was like $14 or something like that.
Something like that.
And for getting clogged hair and everything out of sinks. And I mean, who does? Everybody's going to have a cordless drill or a power drill. And here's a little thing you can carry with you. This is what I liked about this is that it's small to carry. And we did a show on doing more with less.
More with less. Yep.
And so I like to carry things that don't bulk up my tool bag, but have multiple things I can use it for.
Yeah, and this is only I think it's 3 feet long. It's not terribly long. Most drain snakes are 15 plus feet
right.
long.
I mean, this is exactly.
And they're too big for almost all your applications. They're just too big.
This is not the big snakes that you're gonna do a really huge, serious snake out on a plumbing. But for hair that 90% of the time when I walk into somebody's house and their sink's not going, especially in the bathroom, it's because of that. It's because of
Absolutely.
hair. And
absolutely.
Using something like this, man, just get it right down there, pull the hair out, or unclog that thing.
And done.
And you're done.
And done. Yeah. It was a great find. So whoever developed it, I mean, it just makes sense. It's not even new. It's just they shortened it up and put it into a convenient package, which is great.
Yeah.
And so anyway, be that as it may, Johnny, what's next on our list? This has, again, we're talking about tools. These are accessories to the tools, and Johnny's put up a picture. This is oscillating tool bits, so things for your multi-tool. We missed we're going to talk about it next, but we'll talk about circular saw blades as well. We didn't put up any pictures on circular saw blades, but folks, you've got to, believe it or not, your circular saw blades actually go bad every once in a while. And you do need to replace them, so forth. And so never going to hurt to give somebody a circular saw blade or give them a finishing circular saw blade. Just there's different teeth. There's different things you can cut with circular saws. So there's cement board blades. There's really fine tooth blades for cutting formica and things like that. There's, masonry bits. Anyway, with all that going on. And most of these fall through all of these categories, including to this next one that Johnny's got up on the picture is oscillating blade tools, right, John? So talk to us about what you see here in this picture.
One of the great tools you can have is an oscillating tool.
Right.
To me, it's invaluable.
Absolutely.
I actually have 2 of them, but having said that thing, I use it for just about everything. And
right.
It makes such work, and there's so many different things you can do with it. So here's just a picture of what do we have here, about 6 or 7 different accessories for an oscillating. Whether you're cutting metal, you're cutting wood, you're sanding,
scraping. That's a
drywall cutting, scraping.
Yep.
The list goes on and on.
Grout removal. So forth,
exactly.
And on.
That is folks, if you've ever tried to remove grout manually with one of those grout things, it's a pain in the butt. But use something like an oscillating tool. With a diamond blade on it, man, it just takes it right out. So anyways, having said that, all these here are just like, very small gifts. They're very, some of them are, less than $20. Some of them might be less than, 40, but, somewhere in that neighborhood, but they're great.
Yeah. And the other thing is, and do remember, these are consumables, these are saw blades and such, and they go bad, folks, if you don't change them out every. So I always notice when I change mine out, I'm like, oh, that's what it's like when it's supposed to be able to actually cut.
Yeah, because it sneaks up on you, right?
It sneaks up.
And I will tell you, you were mentioning the circular saw blades, and folks, it's not a joke, man. You need to update those things. If they get a little bit dull, do yourself a favor and get rid of it and get a new blade in there. It's going to be a lot safer. It's like a dull knife. It's nothing good comes of that.
Nothing good.
So
comes of it. If there's more smoke coming off the saw blade than sawdust, you might need a new blade.
Well, it's going to destroy the tool as well,
That too.
So
that too. Yeah. So, it's the old adage, sharpen the saw, right? As they say. But yeah, but just back to oscillating tools. And there are other oscillating tools that are available. We just put up this picture just because it's kind of a representative example of what's out there. And they kind of, one of the other things this time of year that I like, John, is that a lot of these things, especially when you buy them out of those middle caps at the big box stores, is they come with cases. I'm an organization guy. I like the cases. It's all in one place. It's in a case. It's designed to fix it or fit in the case. You close the case up. All your tools are in. All your blades are in there. So you go to one place, and that's one of the other things that I like about this time of year about buying any of these products is that they come in multiples in a case, and it's just kind of one.
So
of
you
those
can
things.
See what you're missing.
Yeah. Well, what did I leave on the job site?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Like a caulking gun on the fence.
Johnny, are you telling stories?
No,
about
you should have
job?
had a case for it.
I should. Okay. You're right. So the next one is well, John, you went to reciprocating saws. It doesn't matter. So these are the same thing. These are more tools for reciprocating saws. And this is just kind of an example. These are some different ones that I've seen, but I don't see them very often. But like a wire brush, and then there are scraper blades and things for reciprocating sawzall, if you want to call it that, right? Reciprocating blades. I think one of the biggest things that I use the most is actually for my reciprocating saw is the pruning blades. I cut a tremendous amount of branches and things off my trees around the house, with my reciprocating saw. I don't get the chainsaw out for little stuff. And a great gift is you can get a package of those pruning blades for, I don't know, I buy mine off Amazon. Not that that's where you should go, but they're not very much money, and boy, they work great. And so, take your tools. We did this again. This was in that show we talked about where we did multi-use tools, and reciprocating saw has a tremendous number of options. What you see in this picture is a wire brush, a couple of wire brush functions, a scraper. There's all kinds of things for your reciprocating saw as far as additional tools.
Interesting.
So just kind of pay attention around there. Now, Johnny, stick us back to pictures of you and me, because I don't think we have any more pictures coming up, right?
No,
yeah,
I've got a couple of things. I got a couple of things I'll share with everybody that I carry. Now, would I be caught dead with this thing in a mechanic in a shop? No, but for us, this is it's a universal socket.
Oh yeah, the boys at Eastern would not have liked that.
No, you would be shamed into retirement quick. But this thing will go up to 3/4, and you just
push it on.
Just push it on. In a pinch, you've got kind of a socket set that's just
a single
right
piece.
there. Now what I've used this for is a lot of let's say that you're putting together furniture and you forgot your socket set,
and you don't know if it's metric or English,
and you don't know, and then you pull one of these things out, and it goes onto your drill, and
works like a champ,
and you're done.
Yep.
I'll tell you, the other thing that I carry in my bag is a bunch of these that I put on my impact wrench that you can fit on your sockets. Okay.
Oh, for putting sockets on. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. These things are great. And the last thing, I carry all these three things in a single bag, and it has saved my bacon. I'll tell you that much. If you've ever done cabinet work and you try to get your drill into a cabinet, it don't fit.
It doesn't fit.
So get yourself a 90-degree.
The 90-degree, yeah, that's a great accessory for your cordless drill. I have one of those as well.
So you can get in, and let me tell you something. If you're trying to put drive screws or drill holes inside a cabinet with a tight fit, there's no way you're going to get in there unless you get something like this.
Yep. And there's several different brands. Yeah, there's several different brands. Yeah, there's
a whole bunch of them, but this thing is really great. Let me tell you. So
good call, Johnny. I forgot I have one of those in my tool belt. I carry it with me all the time.
Yeah, that's what I do. So I've got all three of these, kind of my little kind of go-tos for, all those little weird items that pop up. Because listen, if you get a call and somebody says, "Hey, I got a table to put together," there's a jillion freaking screws or you know, and you're not going to sit there and use like the wrench that comes with these things, or
No.
even it's so much easier just to put everything on your drill and just zip them in, boop 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 boop. So
Absolutely.
anyways,
absolutely.
that was my contribution, Larry.
Allen wrenches as well. Yeah. One other thing that we were just, I was going through some of the kind of the must-have tools that we've talked about in the past on our Christmas shows of past years. And one thing we talked about was shop vacs, right? So I just thought there's a few accessories on shop vacs that people might or might not know about, but they're always a good gift. You talked about it in our last Christmas show last year, but about having a muffler on the backside of your shop vac, and it's a very inexpensive, simple gift, and it quiets that freaking thing down, sounding like a jet, down to being a nice and quiet thing. One of the other things that I always, this is a consumable for me, are the internal filters, right? So they come in various different, there's general construction, there's HEPA, there's drywall, there's whatever, and it's different micron filtration rates. I always use drywall ones most of the time, but if you ever get into where you need a HEPA filter to do, I don't know, you're vacuuming up something like lead dust or something, you need a HEPA filter. You can buy these different things. But the filters, folks, if you don't know it, you do need to replace your filters on your shop vacs every once in a while. So not a bad thing to get as a Christmas gift. One of the other things is we had talked about water vacuuming accessories. So do you have small squeegee heads for your vacuum if you need to do water removal, I guess I want to say, if you're going to suck it up. And then you mentioned last year too about the rotor head, right? So there's a small rotor head that you can put on your shop vac. That's a great tool. These don't come with your shop vacs, by the way. You're going to have to buy these as accessories. But this rotor head is a little tiny thing. It's great for like carpet and upholstery and your car.
Yeah, those are those turbine ones that you can find. And man, the shop vac will really spin those up.
Yeah,
and they work great. You put those on, and you have like a little mini agitator, like a vacuum cleaner that you use in your house, and for doing carpets and the inside of your car and things like that. It's awesome.
Yeah, so. Really, really awesome. Other thing that I always like to have, a multiple of edging tools, or real fine, narrow ones. And I've worn through mine several times because I use them that much, because they suck up pretty much everything, including screws and nuts and bolts and stuff like that. And then one thing I bought last year that I finally broke down and bought was a dust separator. And so if you're doing highly dusty activities like drywall, or like even just vacuuming up really
sawdust,
sawdust, or anything like under carpets is always where I find them. I mean, it's so dusty that this thing separates out the dirt and just saves your filter. Instead of clogging your filter up all the time and having to clean your filter out, a dust separator actually makes a difference. So those are just a couple of things in that department as far as trying to give you a couple ideas on what to do. So what else we got, Johnny? Do we have anything else as far as some of these things go?
I think this is great. For this last minute, for those folks that use this all the time, these are I think they're great gifts.
Yeah. Anything. There's a number of other things. If you've got a 4-inch grinder, you can do all the different kinds of blades and all of that kind of stuff for your 4-inch grinder. Those are always welcome. There's wire brushes. There's sanding wheels. There's this. There's that. And then always, John, there's always the other consumables, right? Like we always go through tape, blue tape. I mean, we use it for everything pretty much, except for painting, like it's supposed to be used for. Pencils, markers. We talked about some of these things last year, but paint brushes and roller heads they're really consumables. At the end of the day, they go bad. I'm a big believer in glues. So there's all kinds of different glues and caulks, basically I'm not going to turn down if somebody wants to give me some glue, some epoxy, some super glue for my first aid kit. Even a first aid kit might not be a bad gift. All of these things are really low cost, good gifts that you might, somebody might really appreciate, if they need, if and when they need it. So I don't know, John, anything else?
No, I mean, like I said, I think these are great ideas. If you're thinking about the consumables, if you're going to go for tools, that's a whole nother side of things. But, I think all these little things that like the things that I showed here,
Yeah, simple, easy.
It's the things that will come around and bite you if you don't have them, and there's nothing, so, there's nothing you can do, unless you want to spend the rest of the day putting bolts in a table or something like that.
No. No.
So, but but all the consumables, folks, think about it that way. The blades, like everything that we just talked about, great gifts.
Great gifts. So, John, a question. Do you use that socket when you're in the alien spaceship when you're taking it apart? Because we know it's not English, it's not standard, it's not even Whitworth. It's gosh only knows what it is. Is that what you're taking it apart with? Is that what you're doing?
Larry, you and sockets. I don't know.
Me and sockets. All right. With that, folks, that signifies that this podcast is coming to an end. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please send us an email, questions@handymanprosradioshow.com. We certainly appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe our pages. We really appreciate it. We want to get it out there. We've got a Facebook page at Handyman Pros. We are putting out some great stuff. Put out a great video, a great South Park video. You need to watch it. It's just, you will absolutely die if you watch it. I'm not kidding. It's the funniest thing in the whole wide world. All right. With that, John,
we are going to be out of here and have a great week, folks. We'll see you next time on the Handyman Pros Radio Show.